Why is my camera showing? I just thought I would show y'all my beautiful face for a second at the beginning of the stream today so that my lovely subscribers and newcomers will also know that absolutely, absolutely the same quotas on the inspirational quotes in our shorts tab section of the You Will Make It TV channel is me. I'm the same person who covers these live topics. Each and every one of our segments, you guys will be happy to know, are originally inspired. We talk about viral topics here at You Will Make It TV. Now, we don't do per se reactions directly to videos, but we do give our own thoughts, insight, and perceptions about real stories across the globe, okay? So if you're tuning in today, hello. It's good to see you. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and Happy New Year for the 1500th time from the You Will Make It TV channel family to yours, okay? Rest in peace to Miss Catherine O'Hara. Even if I didn't get a chance to make a post on any of my social medias or, you know, it's just crazy. Like people leaving here at such a fast rate lately. It's almost like you find yourself doing 10 RP posts a day. So I just don't do those anymore. But I felt like her passing is definitely topic worthy because y'all probably wouldn't believe this, but I had already wrote a script of like some research to come and do a topic about the Home Alone kid, Kevin, okay? Because he's an adult now. And I promise to God, this stuff, the notes and everything was just saved in my device. And then the next thing I know, I look up and I'm hearing that his TV mom, which was Miss Catherine O'Hara, she played his mother in both Home Alone Part 1 and 2. Oh my God, my heart just dropped when I saw that. And still, positive thoughts, condolences to her family, surviving family members and loved ones. Sometimes you just know, right? When you lose a star, when you lose an angel, like when it's really a loss, you feel that. Because I might not have knew that woman personally, but all of us that grew up watching Home Alone, they were almost like family. Like, you know what I'm saying? The mother he had on that movie symbolized a lot of our mothers. Hardworking, taking care of more than one child, trying to keep the family together, okay? And still ended up missing a beat. And I thought, who would be a greater candidate to kind of give their open heart thoughts and mind about this TV family than me? Straight up, she's a straight good representation of a mother that was trying to keep up with it all. And yes, even in the movie, she was married, right? She was married. I mean, she had support. She had other family members. They even tried to come together for the holidays. She still ended up losing one of her kids. Not in a way of death, of course, but you see, one of her kids didn't even get on a plane. So that can happen to anybody. You got to keep up with. I just miss the 90s because movies were, I don't want to just say the word more realistic, but yeah, it was shown that it was okay to make mistakes. That why do you think they had so many family TV shows? I mean, TV shows and movies that were family based, not family targeted. Because of course, if you make a family movie, a family TV show, the goal is to, you know, have families to watch it. But this is definitely was one of those family movies, period. Like to this day, what you call family friendly. But even in this same family friendly film, it was just showing you like what mothers are perfect. Even when her and her husband went to the police department in the movie and they was like, "We need help finding our son." They didn't just jump on things as quick. You know, even back then in the 90s, I think the kid had to be missing for at least 24 hours. She's like, no, I know he's missing. He didn't get on a plane with us. He didn't board the plane. It's just a lot of different aspects of that movie that could teach us a lot. I know it was just supposed to be a comedy and showing how a kid could really kick ass if they have to, if they're left all alone. But should a kid be left in that position? And the title that I left on this segment I'm doing today is, yes, Home Alone is a movie, but How do you become home alone in a society with a billion other people walking around? See, home alone is not just a representation of you being at home alone. It could also be a representation of you feeling alone too, in a big society, just as such as this one. So I'm just giving my open thoughts and opinions, but still, rest in peace to Miss Catherine. I'm so sad, as if it was just like she was a mother to all of us. She was a TV mom. Y'all know how that is. Just like the Cosby Show or the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I can go on and on and on when it comes to like family shows we grew up watching, and not just the adults of my generation. Some people still watch these shows today. So anything that you can watch for generations, and no matter how many times you play it, it's still family friendly. We actually should give those kind of TV shows and movies, in my opinion, a lot more credit than what they I just say they deserve more than what they get, because like we can honestly say that not every sitcom and movie and show is like literally family friendly today. Okay, actually there's more rated R stuff out there, PG-13 stuff out there, than it is anything else. Who comes up with these ratings in the first place? But it rated R content has never really been a problem, in my opinion. It's the exposure to this content. See, that was the only content that you would think was toxic for a child before you had what they call social media, woo woo woo. But even with movies and cartoons, they never threw it on TV without a rating like, hey, this is PG, this is family friendly, this is rated R. So why would they think they would not have to do that with social media after so long? Shout out to Roblox. I've heard about some of the bigger changes they've been making just in the past 14 days. Some of the changes that they have seemingly quickly, and started accommodating as far as the age requirements and age groups that can participate with one another on that platform. I do want to say shout out and kudos to Roblox for that. Does that mean that other people still might not bring up cases and allegations about things their kids went through on Roblox? We all know that's not realistic, but it is good to see more of these platforms and sites listening to the parents. A lot of people talk their shit about parents, but let me tell you how many businesses would not be in business if they lose money from the parents. Let's talk about it. I heard that this past weekend there was a protest where people just decided they weren't going to go out and shop or buy, and pertaining to what was going on in Minnesota with the ICE affairs and everything. It's all tied into each other, if you ask me. Like, it all ties together. More and more platforms, companies, businesses taking this serious, saying, hey, if our customers and clients don't feel safe, don't feel heard, don't feel listened to, how much longer are we going to stay in business? See, the days of ignoring certain customers and clients, and people don't know about it is weird, because, like, there's whole social media out here now. People would get on there and share their story. But you got a lot of companies shocked, like, oh, people are willing to go on strike and protest over one person? Like, that's crazy. Why would you think people wouldn't feel that way? They didn't know the people that were shot in Minnesota, but the whole country has been protesting. That's an example of what I've been talking about. They don't have to know you. Some people feel your pain because maybe they're a woman, they're a man, they had children, they used to have a job, they have an apartment, they know what it's like. They know what it's like to pay rent, file behind on rent. I'm just trying to remind society for one quick second, okay? There's no such thing as, oh yeah, well we just, I don't know why they still try to do stuff on the sideline to one person. Like, your whole business can't be affected for how you came for one person or one group of persons. Now, how will you look to your other customers and clients? That makes no sense. And business just used to mean so much more. So back to what I was saying. Before there was social media, we just had these VHS tapes and DVDs and Blu-rays. And you had the Hollywood movie theaters and the movie theaters, but we never had a release of any type of content without a rating. Remember that word, rating? That's going to be rated R, PG 13, PG. At least the parents back then had a warning about what kind of content is going to be on the screen before they pop it into their TV screens or before they take their kids to see it at a mega movie theater. You know? See, we had a choice back then. Most parents, if they saw that it said rated R, they just didn't let their kids watch it. But then again, I'm exposing something. Yeah, a lot of kids, even in the 90s, 80s, 70s, were watching films like The Poltergeist, movies that were clearly rated R. I'm telling you, people were sitting there around their homes. I'm not here to judge, but y'all were watching it rated R content with your children long before social media came out. Now, be honest, okay? Because we're all making history, but just being a part of everything, every transition society has. One day, you guys are going to be telling your grandkids and great grandkids what it was like in 2026, what it was like in 2025. Okay, I tell my kids a lot too. Look, in the in the history of wars, WARS, everybody is not fighting and running for their life. There's always those special people hiding somewhere writing about the war. How do you think we have historical facts about wars? There was not always photography and videography for people to document what was going on around them. Enough said. Now, these people are usually called transcribers or writers or just, these are the people who record history. And shout out to any reporters, because trust me, there's a lot going on with that too. You Will Make It TV is just here to continue to motivate and inspire us and others the best we can through trying times. Because when have you seen reporters and podcasters and bloggers getting arrested left and right, like Mr. Don Lemon here recently? TV and everything we've known TV to be and content, if you will, it's just changing the rules of it. And I don't know, I let these people do what they want to do, but see, you censorship too much, somebody gonna begin to lose money. Am I right or wrong? I just think they go overboard with banning and stipulating and trying to put everybody in a cage. They forget you're going to affect many other businesses. Usually one business taking a loss affects many others. It affects the employees working there. It affects the community. It always just has a chain effect. And this is one business. Okay? So what we're seeing with Hollywood is crazy. Like, what do you mean this lady just randomly died? Right before I was finna do a topic about the Kevin boy and how he was doing today as a grown man since recording Home Alone. He's also been known to star in bigger hit films. I'm just saying most of the movies he were in were definitely PG or PG-13. I don't know what y'all thought, but movies are also considered content. The content we have today is just more accessible. You can pull it up on your phone. We have live streaming, what they call it, or live movie and live TV. At the same time, it's still content. So we got to get back to where I think they should make content creators put a rating on each and every piece of content before it's posted. Okay, that way we kind of are forewarned. If your kid does happen to scroll across it and it says rated R, well, your kid knows not to watch it. If your kid does scroll across some content and it says PG-13 and they're under 13, well, at least they're aware. They had some kind of advertisement that told them, hey, this content is rated R. This content is PG-13. This content is PG. That's not what's on YouTube and social media. It's just whatever content is out there. It's crazy. Hello, Mr. Bender. Shout out to you in the chat. Thank you for your support today and for your comment, okay? He said, I still watch old reruns of Happy Days. Hey, that was a great show. That was a great show. Let me keep reading. Please set the rating system for movie. Okay, the rating system for movie. Thank you for that informative information here in the chat. It says the rating system for movies started in 1969 in England. Thank you guys, because I don't get to get every piece of research before I prepare these topics. But that is interesting to know. And yes, the rating system is very, very, very important. How would it only be required for films on TV screens and Hollywood films, but not social media content? So my very strong prediction is that the way that social media has been going lately, because I have to remind people, social media is brand new, bro. It's brand new. It has not been in society for that long. Okay? Anything that's 20 years or younger to me is still brand new to society. So that goes for cell phones, tablets, Nook tablets, Amazon reading tablets, iPhones. All of that stuff is still new to society. It's still less than 20 years old. So how is that not new? And it's not too late to add rating systems or make a requirement for people to have to tag a rating system to all of their content. For example, I do inspirational quotes, but my rating would be my channel is for mature audiences. I can say that before I even start rating my channel. I'm serious. Like kids can tune into this channel, but the disclaimer is this channel is more targeting mature audience. Y'all know what the word mature means? Mature. That might mean you're not even 16, you're not 18, but if you come tune in and You Will Make It TV and you're mature people don't have a problem understanding Miss Arthur Tetasheri. They never had a problem understanding my books when they read it, any of my poems when they read it. In my inspirational quotes, I have heard through the grapevine, some people, they like, hey, I don't understand what she's talking about. Well, maybe you're not a part of the mature audience. But you get to a point in life, maturity is not just some label. After so long, that's going to begin to show. And if you're a mature person, why wouldn't you attract mature audiences? Like, let's be honest. Why wouldn't you attract mature onlookers or mature people? I was just wondering. Not every rating is going to say mature audience. Like there's some video games, that's the rating. It don't say rated R, it says mature. It says the letter M. That means you shouldn't be playing Grand Theft Auto unless you're mature enough to play it. So that's what we've lost sight of, in my opinion. We don't even put ratings on these social media content. It's just you just scroll through and you see whatever you see. So people are doing some of any and everything on the internet. But I guarantee you, if you make rating systems requirement on the internet with content, just like you did with movies and films, we might be able to clean up a little bit of this stuff. Now, that's just a suggestion from my channel, guys. My suggestions are not always accepted, okay? But see, these are things we're talking about in society right now anyway. We the people. But I think this rating system should be all over the world because people all over the world are on social media, fortunately and unfortunately. That's all I have to say about that. But we know Home Alone was definitely always, recognized as PG, a PG film. Whether you were mature or immature, you could watch that movie and still understand what's going on. What it means to have to fight for your life because you're left all alone. Thank you, Kevin and Miss Catherine O'Hara, for that beautiful movie and all the producers who helped to put that film out in the 90s. What I'm saying is in the 90s, you really, if you did see kids home alone, it wasn't for too long. Like most times kids were just home for a few hours until their parents got off work. I mean, because back then people had to work too in the 80s, 90s, and 70s. I'm just trying to think about the generations that I might have had experience with. But yeah, parents always had to work. So I don't know what people thought. That's a reason alone right there that kids are home alone sometimes. And yes, they can be mature. There's some children that are mature enough to do that. But if that movie didn't show you, your kid can be in the house minding their damn business. And just like in the movie Home Alone, part 1 and 2, that child wasn't out there bothering nobody. Well, I know in part 1, he was in his house just trying to stay safe and everything. And these guys, he had the booby trap things, all kind of creative ideas just to stay alive. Every day was a fight, and he was a child, okay? Yes, yes. This was before cell phones, before social media, before direct internet contact with other people. That little boy in the movie didn't have that. So all he had was himself and the things he had that surrounded him to protect himself till his parents could get back to him and make sure that he was in honest safety, okay? No, it does not mean you're in honest safety. Unfortunately, they'll put you out in the drop of a hat for missing a rent payment, but they can't explain why so many kids are still being like harassed and they're at home minding their damn business. I'll give them an easy example. Watch the movie Home Alone. And this has been going on probably for decades. Because you got idiots that just sit outside and watch people's house, especially if they know you're a single parent. But the Home Alone movie, he had a mom and a dad. But because of their money bracket, their financial bracket and status, they had weirdos watching their house and they didn't even know it. They were just trying to go on a Christmas vacation. I mean, rest in peace once again to Miss Catherine O'Hara. That was not just some family movie. It also made very valid points about things, real things that parents should watch out for in society. Period. So just imagine, they done planned this trip all year long. They had planned the trip all year long, bought the plane tickets, paid for everybody's transportation and arrangements, and still ended up leaving one of their very own beloved children at home. Whether it was because the child wasn't paying attention, the parent wasn't paying attention. And I just love the whole vibe of New York, the whole vibe of what the 90s was then. It showed that parents made honest mistakes, okay? Have you guys ever seen the movie Miss Doubtfire? It was another 90s PG hit family film, okay? Even the movie Miss Doubtfire showed that moms and dads can make mistakes. Still, how does that mean that gives a right for an intruder to come in and be bothering the children? I just wanted to know. Even these films showed us that times have changed, okay? This little boy wasn't bothering, but he was mature. He was mature as hell. The real actor, the real Kevin, if you will, he was actually a very mature young man. Why do you think he got so many TV deals at an early age? It take a special kind of kid to be able to do that type of work. One film could take you 6 months to record. It could take up a child's whole year. So sometimes when they're pushed into that type of spotlight so early, you know how the narrative goes, guys. They do not get to, enjoy a lot of their childhood. They're spending years and months of their lives on set just to record one film. So we do appreciate you, Kevin. Shout out to you from the You Will Make It TV. And we wish nothing but positive vibes for him moving forward, because he is also a part of the movement. That's what I was trying to talk about. It's crazy how his TV mom just suddenly died, but he been recently coming more out on interviews trying to talk about what his life was as a child outside of TV. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, y'all should go check his story out though. They was quick to say, "Oh, he ended up on drugs. He's not doing well." But now people more understand him because there have been others just like him who come out with stories like, yeah, I might have had a TV star film life, but who knows what those kids were going through off of the screen, okay? Remember Raven Simone? Next thing we knew, we looked up and Bill Cosby was literally ended up serving time. I'm not saying behind Raven Simone, but behind allegations that even a man like Bill Cosby might not have been as perfect as a lot of people, wanted to believe. I'm just saying, so what does this mean? TV's done for? Content's done for? It looks to me like as long as there's some drama going on in people's life, which if they're Hollywood stars, I ain't met a Hollywood star yet. Well, I ain't gonna say met because I ain't met too many Hollywood stars, but I ain't seen too many stories yet where they didn't have some kind of outside side story to what they went through off of TV. So it just pissed me off reading Kevin's story though. It's not a secret. He just supposedly came from, a particular background himself. I wouldn't say poverty, but with some of these TV stars, yeah. And they were the star to change their family's life, okay? The unfortunate thing is when they're kids, who y'all think be spending their money? That kid brought so many tears and laughter and joy to so many homes just through a film that he participated in, and he was a main star, might I add. But sometimes if you're that young, the parent is keeping more of the money, and that's just crazy. Because y'all should just look into his story a little bit sometimes on your own. Don't just look at the ones they showing in the mainstream. All of the babies matter, don't get me wrong. But what about him? You know, he played in Richie Rich. Y'all remember that movie? He played in Richie Rich, another movie called The Good Seed, or it was either called The Good Seed or The Bad Seed. It was something like that. Like, he just played so many roles showing the real authentic, pure side of children, okay? Whether it's through mistakes their parents made or because they get so mature. Like, maturity can be dangerous sometimes because they got a quote that says curiosity kills the cat. And with maturity is hard because it's like you have to learn to balance your curiosity. You understand? It takes some level of emotional intelligence to be the one that's disciplining yourself to know that, hey, maybe some curiosity is dangerous, okay? But you can't fault a person for being mature and becoming curious. You just can't. That's a part of human life. At one point in my life, I thought I was just making excuses for humans, but I'm really not. I like to remind people they're not excuses, they're reminders of what actually helps keep us human. So, anyways, that's just my main opinion when it comes to this topic. Like, please bring ratings back, even to social media. People should be required to, maybe it should just automatically come with a filter where you put rated R, PG, PG 13. I think YouTube does have some kind of system where they ask, is this content for kids? And you check yes or no. But it asks that before you even post it. You know what I'm saying? Before you even post any content on YouTube. For those that didn't know, yes, they have this filter system where before you even post the video, it'll ask, is this content safe for kids? And you just check yes or no. And then they won't even bring your content up in the algorithm of what kids watch. If you check no. It'll say, is this made for kids? It's a simple question. Every social media platform, in my opinion, should be required to make people be honest and forthcoming about the type of content that they're choosing to display and share on social media. You know? But yeah, that kid was just in his house minding his business. If you go back and watch Home Alone, the guys that kid ended up having to fight for his life against had been already scoping out and watching his parents' home long before Christmas. You got to pay attention to the movie. They were like rich, they were wealthy, they were kind of in a higher financial class. So that right there could make your child a target already. You know what I mean? The child is innocent as hell. But because of your bracket, your status, your direction in life, somebody could just already be watching your home. And if this movie came out in the 90s, people are still doing that, right? It's just more dangerous because you can even track their location right there on social media. Somebody's child. You can track their location, look in the background of their videos and see where they are. It's sad. The kids can't even make dancing videos, have fun on social media anymore. Because of the kind of creeps that are lurking, I guess the creeps are trying to make a point like, no, we didn't create social media for kids. Well, you should have created your platforms better to where people had an understanding of that. Not suddenly try to blame the parents, but I think the main movement and agenda that's going on right now is you have a lot of companies and their company buddies trying to put more of the backlash on the parents instead of taking accountability for their dangerous platforms. Period. I mean, that's just my opinion, though. I mean, yes, the responsibility has to be shared because it's the parents who buy the devices. It's the parents who pay for the Wi-Fi, the data, the phone bills. Because this, let's be honest, this is how most people access TikTok, Instagram, and any other social media platform. They usually have a phone. To me, that's the accountability of the parents. Did y'all hear about that story where it's a school district being, I think I'm going to be back with another topic, so I'm not going to even speak on it. But I'm going to speak on it to close this segment out for a second. There's a school district under fire right now for a bunch of parents came together and found out that the devices they were sending home with their kids. I'll help you. Come on. Yeah, they found out that the devices, the laptops they were sending home with the kids had monitoring. They were pretty much monitoring people's kids at home. So I don't know what the update of that story will be, if the school district will win this case or the parents of that school district will win this case. But you turn around, you look up, and you do see a lot of superintendents, principals, teachers quitting lately, as if they don't want no smoke. They don't want to be named in any of these cases about school districts that thought it would be really funny to spy on kids from devices that they send home with the kids. Don't ask me how they're doing this. I don't know. But this particular school district is the parents there, they're alleging that they're watching them through the cameras, because y'all know most laptops and Chromebooks and MacBooks come with cameras on the devices. So a lot of us homeschool parents, we felt safer going to purchase the devices from places like Amazon, Walmart, Best Buy. You know why? Because it doesn't come from a school. You're purchasing it with money from out of your pocket. And you feel like it's a little safer because you're buying it straight out the store. You just want your kids to have a device to be able to do their schoolwork on. But it's not 100% promised that because you're receiving a device from a school district that it's safe. You see what I'm saying? Anything with a camera, let me reiterate myself for parents that might care and tune into this segment. Anything with a camera in it, guys, can be hacked. Any camera can be hacked. I know this because real professionals have told me this, okay? It is very important that you shop and take the time out to get more information on the systems and things that you buy. And no, it's not safe to just take a camera from somebody, because they could already have it rigged in a way where as soon as you connect it in your home, they can see everything going on in your home. That's why people do prefer companies like ADT and Xfinity, just more mainstream landline companies that they know, are doing more to protect your security systems, okay? And I hope you guys going into 2026 do tune back into my channel soon. And if you want to hear me talk about it again, feel free to leave your opinions in the comments. But yeah, guys, thank you for your support in the chat. I'm going to be back with another topic about that, because that is crazy. I want to find out exactly what state this is going on in and what school district this is. I remember the school starting with the letter M, but you guys feel free to go look into that story yourself. It's just crazy. Like, since when is it okay to spy in people's homes just because you sent their child home with a MacBook, a tablet? It's probably so many parents going through crazy stuff right now, and they didn't know why, like crazy interruptions in their lives. But at the same time, there are schools being busted for spying on kids through the devices they sent home with the kids. So yes, those of us that prefer to pay for devices out of our own pockets, we had a whole reason for that. At least if you know you bought it out the store, you know nobody rigged it or hacked it. You bought it brand new. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time.